Enough by Suzanne Buffalo. I am wearing dark glasses inside the house to match my dark mood. I have left all the sugar out of the pot. My rage is a kind of domestic rage. I learned it from my mother, who learned it from her mother before her, and so on. Surely the Greeks had a word for this. No, surely the Germans do. The more words a person knows to describe her private sufferings, the more distantly she can perceive them. I repeat the names of all the cities I know, and watch an ant drag its crooked shadow home. What does it mean to love the life we've been given? To act well the part that's been cast for us? Wind, light, fire, time. A train whistles through the far hills. One day I plan to be riding.
And to mother, Alona diswanted. When summer ended, the leaves of snapdragons withered, taking the shrill colored now with them. They were still, so quiet. They were violet, where amber now is. She hated, and she hated to see them go. Flowers born when the weather was good. This she thinks of, watching the branch of peaches daring their ways above the fence, and further, two hummingbirds hover stuck to each other, arcing their bodies in grim determination to find what is good, what is given them to find. These are warriors, distancing themselves from history. They find peace in the way they contain the wound and are gone.
The Ocean by Nathaniel Opher. The ocean has its silent caves, deep, quiet, and alone. Though there be fury on the waves, beneath them there is none. The awful spirits of the deep hold their communion there. And there are those for whom we weep, the young, the bright, the fair. Calmly the wearied seamen rest beneath their own blue sea. The ocean solitudes are blessed for theirs purity. The earth has guilt. The earth has care. Unquiet are its graves. But peaceful sleep is ever there, beneath the dark blue waves.
A Certain Kind of Eating by K. Ryan. It seems like you could, but you can't go back and mull the roots and runners of a new plant. It's all too deep for that. You've overprized intention, have mistaken every bent you're given for control. You thought you chose the bean and chose the soil, and you even thought you abandoned one or two gardens, but those things keep growing where we put them, if we put them at all. A certain kind of Eden holds us thrall. Even the one vine that tendrils out alone in time turns on its own impulse, twisting back down its upward course, strong and then a stronger will be. Greenest, saddest, strongest kind.
Double Dutch by Gregory Parlow. The girls can in Double Dutch bob and weave like boxers, pulling punches, shadowing each other, sparring across the slack cord, casting parabolas in the air. They whip quick as an infant's pulse, and the jumper, before she enters the winking, nods in time, as if she has a notion to share, waiting her chance to speak. But she's anticipating the upbeat, like a band leader counting off the tune they are about to swing into. The jumper stair-steps into mid-air as if she's jumping rope in low gravity, training for a lunar mission. Airborne a moment long enough to fit a second thought, and she looks caught in the mouth bones of a fish as she flutter floats into motion like a figure in a stack of time-lapse photos thumbed alive. Once inside, the bells tied to her shoestrings rouse the gods who've lain in the dust since the Dutch acquired Manhattan. How she dances patterns like a dust-heavy bee retracing its travels in scale before the hive. How the whole stunning contraption of girdle and rope slaps and scoops like a paddle boat. Her misted skin arranges the light with each adjustment and flex, now heather-hued, now sheen-light, listing on the fulcrum of a wrist, and the bare-jutted joints of elbow and knee, and the faceted surfaces of muscle, surfaces fracturing and reforming like a sun-tickled sleeve of running water. She makes jewelry of herself, and garlands the ground with shadows. Laid unplugged by Tim Sequels. It's true. I almost never smile. But that doesn't mean I'm not in love. My heart is that black violin played slowly. You know, that moment late in the solo when the voice is so pure, you feel the blood in it. The wound between rage and complete surrender. That's where I'm smiling. You just can't see it. The sound bleeding perfectly inside me. The first time I killed a vampire, I was sad. I mean, we were almost family, but that's so many lives ago. I believe in the cry that cuts into the melody, the strings calling back the forgotten world. When I think of the madness that has made me, and the midnight I walk inside all day long. When I think of that one note that breaks what's left of what's human in me, man, I love everything.
How to Triumph Like a Girl by Ada Lamone. I like the lady horses best. How they make it all look easy, like running 40 miles per hour is as fun as taking a nap or grass. I like their lady horse swagger after winning. Ears up, girls, ears up. But mainly, let's be honest, I like that they're ladies. As if this big, dangerous animal is also a part of me. That somewhere inside the delicate skin of my body, there pumps an 8-pound female horse heart, giant with power, heavy with blood. Don't you want to believe it? Don't you want to lift my shirt and see the huge, beating genius machine that thinks, no, it knows it's going to come in first.
Invictus by William Ernest Henry. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced, nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strict the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats. I will arise and go now, and go to industry. And a small cabin builder of clay and water was made. 9 big rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee loudly. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's gray. I hear it in the deep heart's core.
April Midnight by Arthur Symons. Side by side through the streets at midnight, roaming together through the tumultuous streets of London in the miraculous April weather. Roaming together under the gaslight. Day's work over. How the spring calls to us here in the city, calls to the heart, from the heart of a lover. Cool till the wind blows, fresh on our faces, cleansing and entrancing after the heat and the fumes and the footlights, where you dance and I watch your dancing. Good it is to be here together, good to be roaming. Even in London, even at midnight. You, the dancer, and I, the dreamer. Children together, wandering lost in the London night, in the miraculous April weather.
It Isn't Me by James Last. It isn't me, he'd say, stepping out of a landscape that offered, he thought, backdrop to a plausible existence, till he entered it. It's just not me, he'd murmur, walking away. It's not quite me, he'd explain, apologetic but firm, leaving some job they found him. They found him others. He'd go, smiling his smile, putting his best foot forward, till again, he'd find himself reluctantly concluding that this too wasn't him. He wanted to get married, build a home, unfold a life among his neighbors' lives, branching and blossoming like a tree, but when it came down to it, it isn't me, was all he seemed to learn from all his diligent forays outward. And why it should be so hard for someone not so different from themselves to find what they found, barely even seeking, puzzled them. Though not unduly, they lived inside their lives so fully they couldn't, in the end, believe in him, except as some half-legendary figure destined or doomed to carry on his back the weight of their own all but weightless stray doubts and discomforts. Only sometimes, alone in offices or living rooms, they'd hear that phrase again. It isn't me. And wonder briefly what they were and where. and feel the strangeness of being there.
The Chimney Sweeper, a Little Black Thing Among the Snow, by William Blake. A little black thing among the snow, crying, "Weep, weep!" in notes of woe. Where are thy father and mother, say? They are both gone up to the church to pray. Because I was happy upon the heath, and smiled among the winter's snow, they clothed me in the clothes of death, and taught me to sing the notes of woe. And because I am happy, and dance and sing, they think they have done me no injury, and are gone to praise God and his priest and king, who make up a heaven of our misery.
It Isn't Me by James Maston. It isn't me, he'd say. Stepping out of the landscape that offered, he thought, the backdrop to a plausible existence, until he entered it. It's just not me, he'd murmur, walking away. It's not quite me, he'd explain. Apologetic but firm, leaving some junk they'd done him. They found him others. He'd go, smiling his smile, putting his best foot forward, till again, he'd find himself reluctantly concluding that this too wasn't him. He wanted to get married, make a home, unfold a life among his neighbors' lives, branching and blossoming like a tree, but when it came to it, it isn't me, was all he seemed to learn. From all his diligent forays outward, and why it should be so hard for someone not so different from themselves to find what they found barely even seeking. What gift he'd not been given. What forlorn charm of his they had the luck to lack puzzled them, though not unduly. They lived inside their lives so fully they couldn't, in the end, believe in him except as some half-legendary figure destined or doomed to carry on his back the weight of their own, all but weightless, stray doubts and discomforts. Only sometimes, alone, in offices or living rooms, they'd hear that phrase again. It isn't me. And wonder, briefly, what they were, and where, and feel the strangeness of being there. The Maid's Lament by Walter Savage Landor. I loved him not, and yet now he is gone, I feel I am alone. I checked him while he spoke, yet could he speak, alas, I would not check. For reasons not to love him once I sought, and wearied all my thought to vex myself and him. I now would give my love could he but live, who lately lived for me. And when he found 'twas vain, in holy ground he hid his face amid the shades of death. I waste for him my breath, who wasted his for me. But mine returns, and this lorn bosom burns with stifling heat, heaving it up in sleep and waking me to weep tears that have melted his soft heart. For years wept he his bitter tears. Merciful God! Such was his latest prayer. These may she never share. Quieter, is his breath. His breast more cold than daisies in the mold, where children spell athwart the churchyard gate his name and life's brief date. Pray for him, gentle souls, whoe'er he be, and, oh, pray too for me.
In third place, we have the very wonderful performer, Julia Batum. In second place, our runner-up alternate is Miss Rileigh Owens. And in first place, winning the Sanford finals for the second time, we have Camille. It was the senior sweep this year, but obviously that's not every year because Camille also went to as a sophomore. So we just encourage you to commit yourselves to it, and next year when it's classroom competition time again, we hope that you really go for it.